that. All right. It says record. Yeah, that's all right. All right. So.
It's recorded, Dad?
It is. It's recorded.
Oh wait.
It's working.
But if I don't have my cheat sheet, I can't.
Oh,
You have to have both screens up.
There we go. Now you can't. Now you won't feel self-conscious.
Yeah, no.
I need the cheat sheet because if I don't have, I won't have it memorized yet. So I gotta
So
practice
you're
too.
taking sound with this too.
Mm-hmm.
Sound and
Yeah.
video.
We're gonna find out, aren't we?
Oh, this is new.
That's just new video.
What?
The camera's
The video cam, the webcam.
Yeah.
The webcam I've had on the computer for like a year.
Oh,
I
no,
think this is the first time I've used it.
we were talking about the other day. We were saying
Right.
you should be filming the classes like what people are
Right,
doing.
right. So this is what we're gonna do. So anyway, we're gonna do the 16 sounds. So we have body postures. We have each of the sounds separate, and then each of the sounds can be practiced in a row, right? One sound after another. That's what most people do. One sound after another, and that is again for general health to build up all of that. And then each sound is attributed to a body organ. All right. So. And each of those sounds is attributed to one of the 5 elements from like singing. So metal, water, wood, fire, earth, and then there's one for all of them. So as we go through this, I'll try by next week to have the cheat sheet for everybody. I'll have ink by then, so you won't have to worry about whether or not I can print enough out, right? It's always the excuse. The secret always a day late and $1 short. I'll have that for you next Tuesday.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Right. You can pay me today for something I'll give you next week.
Okay.
So we'll go through it. So we'll associate it to the organs, to a season, to the 5 elements, and to a body position, and then we'll do them all together. So we're going to start out by just practicing to say the sounds, and then we'll do the sounds together so we get the order together with it. All right? Does that make sense? No. But for instance, I have a student of mine that's having problems with his liver. So he went to an acupuncturist. Acupuncturist said, "Oh, you have liver issues." So he's given him herbs and he's given him treatments that work toward healing the liver. So I'm doing this with him, but we're actually focusing more on just the liver sound, so that benefits his liver. We're going to do all 6. All right. So the 6 sounds are sit, sit, S-I-E, sit, like sit and down. Right, sit, sit. So sit, chue, C-H-U-A-E, chue. It's like it's chew. Right, like Chewbacca. Like that's a chew piece of meat. Right? That is chew squirrel. You should not be eating.
Squirrel?
Right? Core. Yeah, that's easy. Like Core's Light.
That's easy enough.
Right? Core. Foo. Foo's easy. Right? I like food. Right? And then the last one is C.
C.
S-E-E. C.
What was the first one? Sit.
Sit.
Sit, yes.
Like sit.
Sit.
But not without
Sit.
the T. Sit.
Sit and C. Right?
Go
So
to
it's
first.
S-I-E. Now, if you look this up, or you look these 6 sounds up, I doubt that you're going to find them this way, because Peter spoke Mandarin and Cantonese, and when he translated things, he translated into English, combining Mandarin and Cantonese, and then he made up his own spelling. So I don't know how, I can't find these when I Google these. Yeah, I can't find this breakdown the way he has it. So it's probably phonetically correct, but it might not necessarily be spelt right. And then I'm sure there's a Chinese character associated with it, but I haven't been able to find it. Right? Because this is something that's kind of ancillary, that's kind of taught people. It's not, and again, even the whole handout with the whole explanation of what Peter wrote in his book, it's only like 2 pages, 3 pages. It's not a lot, and that's double spaced, right? So we go through the words. So, and then the words are always, so we relate back, the Chinese use yin and yang theory, right? Which is the yin and yang symbol, positives and negatives. The other thing they use for healing is 5-element theory. The 5 elements are metal, water, wood, fire, and earth. So just like in our Singing Kung Fu system, those 5 elements are based off of those 5 elements of nature, right? When they do Chinese medicine, they use a combination of yin and yang and 5-element theory together. So this is going to be based off of off of the 5-element theory. Does it make any difference? No, I'm just giving you the background. So somebody says, "What did you learn?" I don't know either. I read this in a book. Yeah. So, right, we're going to make funny noises. All we know is that the funny noises, when you practice them, they help you. Right? And it's back to like we did with the thymus tap. That's why I wanted to group that in there. Because the thymus tap gives you, the sounds give you a vibration. And it's the vibration that does the work. That's like when you do 3-star blocking drills. It's the vibration of hitting your arms that causes to stimulate your bones and your muscles, and it causes growth inside. When you walk, right, when they tell you to do weight-bearing exercise, what they want you to do is they want you to actually stress your bones. They want you to create a stress, because when you stress your bones grow. When
There's irreversible bone loss in space because
Yeah,
there's
because
gravity.
no gravity, right?
Not only do they lose bone, there's no way.
so there's not even any way to get it back.
No,
Right.
it's old.
So you see what happens, it's the value, again, that becomes the value of not only gravity, but it becomes the value of like standing or doing exercises that actually stress other things, because if you go to space and they can't get it back because there's no gravity, I assume, right?
Right, that's
You
the
know,
problem, yeah, no gravity.
So now there's nothing, so now there's no stressing, so that goes back, so it's the same thing. So what we want to do is we're going to say the 6 words in the order of creation, right? So there's a cycle that creates, and there's a cycle that destroys in this 5-element theory, right? So we're going to do it in the creation cycle, just like when we do CE 5 elements, it's going to be done metal, water, wood, fire, earth, and then the last one is just a throw-in, right? It's not like, because it's not like they say, oh, it's like earth, or earth, metal, because then it throws the cycle off. I don't know. That's one I don't have the answer for. But we'll do it in what I was given as a creation cycle. And the creation cycle, so it'll be, and it's the way we gave it to you. So it's sit, chue, shoe, like S, like shoe.
Shoe.
But it's spelled HSH, right? So when you see SH, it's pronounced HS, pronounced SH, right? HS is pronounced SH, backwards.
Like PH is
Right.
like an
But when you
F.
translate
F.
to Chinese, that's actually pronounced like an X. They're trying to get to a sound. So when you see HS, they're trying to say xin yi. So it's not really shi, right? So shit. There's shu, xin yi shu, shu, core is easy, core with the K, right? Fu, and then si. See like seeing with your eyes. Right, so let's try it again. So it's sit, chue, shu, core, fu, si. Right, so sit, chue, shu, core, fu, si. Hard to visualize, right? Sit, chue, shu, core, fu, si. Sit, chue, shu, core, fu, si. Right, and then what's going to happen is as you take your breath and as you exhale, that's when the sounds are going to come out. So you're really not trying to say them on the inhale, you're gonna try and say them on the exhale. So what we'll do is we'll just hold them a little bit longer. So it'll be like sit. So we'll try 1, 2, 3, right? Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, fu, kor, si. Si. Right, we got one. That's why I said that. Right. Shi, sit, shui, shu. No. Si. Right. So start again. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. All right, let's go back this way so it's easy, right? So let's do this. Just 3. Sit, shui, shu. 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 Sit, shui, over there. No. Sit, shui, over there. Sit, shui, shu. Sit, shui, shu. Sit, shui, shu. Sit, shui, shu. And then we're going to do kor, fu, si. 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 Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Shit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Shit, sit. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Shit, sit. You got it, I don't. Sit,
Shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si. Sit, shui, shu, kor, fu, si.
So just to make a little bit more, see if we can start to combine it because it's all relation. That's right. That's like counting the 10. E, R, sun, sit, wu, yu, chi, fa, ju, shi. You just gotta say it a million times. That's 1 to 10. E, R, sun, sit, wu, liu, chi, fa, ju, shi. Right. So sit for the lungs, right? So sometimes what makes things so that you get a better visualization of what's going on, right? If you touch the organ, that brings your attention to the organ. That might help you also remember the words and relate the organs at the same time, right? So we have first, right? Sit is going to be the lungs. Shui is the kidneys, right? Shu. Shu is the liver. Your liver is right in the middle here, just underneath, right? Is the liver. Kor is your heart, right? It's going to be your heart, right? It's on your left side, just above, right? And then fu is your stomach, and si is your digestive system, right? It's your whole. So your digestive, your large intestine, small intestine, transverse, colon, upper, your ascending and descending colon, right? All that is all on the outskirts of your stomach. So your like that goes around. So your liver, pancreas, spleen, all up in here, right? Kidneys easy, heart's easy. So your digestive system is going to be not your stomach, but all the stuff just on the outside. So somewhere in there. So let's try it. So let's try again. So si is the lungs. Chui is the kidneys, right? Shu is the liver, right? Your liver, a little bit off to your, I think to the right
side, right?
Yeah.
to the right side and just under your ribs. Yeah, not too far, right? But then your pancreas is on the other side, right? Yeah, it's a little off to the right, a little off to the right, right? Core is your heart. Fu is your stomach, and then your digestive, right? Your digestive. See. So it's si, chui, shu, liver, right? Heart, stomach, digestion, right? It's digestion. So we're going to do, so we're going to start lungs, kidneys, liver, right? Liver to the right, right? Heart, stomach, right? Digestion, whatever. Maybe just make your hands apart over your stomach. So I always think of my stomach like right above my belly button, kind of more compacted, where you're, yeah, the other stuff it's around this side, around the outside, so it'll come to the outside, right? So we're try that again, right? So we're gonna do, right? So it's lungs, kidneys, liver, heart, stomach, right? So that's 6, right? Lungs, kidneys, liver, heart, right? Stomach, digestion. Right? Let's try it again. So lungs, kidneys, shu, core, si. Yeah, let's try it again. Okay. Heart, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too far to the side. So if you found your sternum, right? Just if you put your finger on your sternum and then let your so if you put my left hand on my sternum and my right hand points to the left hand points to the right, that's where your liver is. When they go to measure Nicole, that's what the doctor does. When they palpate her, they actually measure. The doctor can actually feel her liver. She actually measures it this way and this way, and then she takes an overall measurement all the way around. They can the doctor can actually tell how big her liver gets. right? When she goes. All right. So let's try it. Let's try 3 more sets. All right. So it's harder. It's more this harder to remember than it is anything else. Right. But then once we have the sounds and everything down, then we can worry about all the rest of it. So we can say the sounds. It's not going to make any difference. All right. All right. Ready? So it's sit, sway, shoe, core, foo, see. Sit, sway, shoe, core, foo, see. Sit, sway, shoe, core, foo, see. Good. Questions?
These are just ancient sounds?
Yeah,
That people sort of dreamed up thousands of years ago
Yeah,
along the way?
Chinese did, yes, they absolutely
They don't-
dreamed
they-
them up.
you don't-
There was some guy in China
Yeah.
that had nothing better to do with his time after he ate dinner at night, and he started doing this. But that's what happens when you drink too much rice wine.
Too much sake.
But
No sake.
Wrong
No,
country.
sake bad in China.
Sake Japan.
So,
Rice wine is.
Rice wine.
But core,
We
core,
kill you.
core
You know,
isn't
like,
the word for heart.
Sake.
Core
What's that?
isn't the word for heart, though. I'm
No.
sorry. This is the sound.
No,
that
it's
relates-
they're what you're looking to do. Again, it's the vibration.
Yeah,
You're
okay,
looking to
that's what you said at the
resonate
beginning.
a sound.
Like, are
that,
we supposed to like hold it those, like, would you hold it for a few beats, the sound?
yes. Yeah, why you right. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start to then coordinate that to your breathing. And then like when you do each sound, there's like again it's the posture. It's a
intent, right?
right, and then intent that causes. So like I said, one of them you're gonna do I can't remember which one, I don't have them memorized. But like the first sound you might be holding your eyes open. So you might do sit, and it might be the posture might be hold your eyes wide open while you say sit.
So you would be
And then you're gonna do the next one, it's gonna be show.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see.
I know how they figured this one out.
Yeah.
Like,
That's how they go to bathroom now.
Right.
They're like, so.
Western toilet in China is labeled handicapped.
Yeah.
Yes, literally.
What?
So
Western toilet in China is labeled handicapped. They're all squatters.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's how they go.
Oh my
So-
God.
so
That's
you're bringing,
funny.
so you're gonna hold the sound, and then you can just say the sound. So you could go home and drive home, and you could just say the 6 sounds. So the recommendation is if you say them in order, you say them in the order that we just repeated them, because you're trying to stimulate energy in your body to create more energy. And as it creates the energy with each of those major organs, it lifts up your immune system and your health and your, all the things that are going on. If you're having a particular problem, then they're saying you can do an individual organ, right? You can work. So if you're having problems with your heart, or you have a problem breathing, you have problems with allergies, you want to do the lung sound all the time, right? So you're gonna when you do right lung, you're gonna do sit. First one, sit, right? So you're gonna sit, and if you feel it, you can feel it. Sit. You can feel it resonating, huh?
Like a pump sit.
Yeah, sit. Right, sit. Then when you do that particular sound, if you wanted to do it even more, if you wanted to get more out of it, you would do that in the season. Right? So the season for the I gotta see because I need my cheat sheet next week, hopefully. Right? Sit is in autumn. So if you really wanted to get even more benefit out of it, in autumn, you would do sit all the time. Sit.
Now, would you do it also in whatever the posture is that goes along with it?
If you want to get even more out of it, yes.
Okay.
So that's why I said, so we got to learn the words, and then what we're going to do is we're going to learn them together, in the creation cycle first. Then from the creation cycle, this kind of stuff will help us relate to which organ it is, so that we can create a pattern. Like the pattern's like doing a form, right? So now what you're doing is you're saying, oh, when you do this. So, and once we do this, it'll correspond. So if you're doing, let's what, right? So if I said, oh, let's do metal, metal's going to correspond to which organ?
Lungs.
Nope.
No?
Right? Metal, metal, metal. Right? So it's sit. Right?
Schway.
Metal, lungs.
Oh,
Right?
it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
right? It's the first one.
Okay.
Right? So if when you're doing the metal element in, so when you're doing, say, singing, the 5 elements, when you're doing metal, you're always working on lung.
Okay.
Right? Every time metal, water,
Water.
right? Metal, water, so water is going to be
Water
next.
would be
Chue
kidneys.
is always working on kidneys.
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of
Right.
sense.
Even in
Kidneys
out
and
of
right.
balance,
Okay.
too much water, too much.
Wood.
Right.
So how does
Wood
metal
is
go
liver.
with water?
Well, the creation cycle, right? So let's follow it. You can actually pick the cycle up any place in there, but water usually starts everything, right? Water actually gets created from iron, from metal, because metal sweats. So
Okay.
metal makes water, which goes into the ground, which makes things grow, plants to grow, so that makes trees, so that makes wood. Wood is going to make fire because it burns, and the
Becomes
ashes,
Come the earth.
right, which go into the earth, and then the earth eventually turns into iron ore, which is what you would use to smelt to make metal, which brings us back to the top of the chain again. Right? So you're looking, right, metal, water, right? So one thing creates the other. Metal is going to create the condensation that goes into the earth. And then once it goes into the earth, that condensation causes wood to grow, right? Or plants to grow. Plants, that's what gives us the fuel to make fire, right? Once we have the fire going, eventually those fires turn into ashes, like coal, right? Goes into ashes. The ashes get mixed in with the ground or the earth. That's what turns into iron ore, right? So that when they dig, that's what they look for, iron ore deposits. That ash will turn back into that iron ore, or that product, which can then be, right, turned into, it gets turned into metal again, which brings us all the way back to water. So when we do the 5 elements, once you have this down, you'll be able to say, oh yeah, this
metal,
metal,
earth,
water, metal,
metal,
water,
wood,
liver, wood,
fire,
earth, everything. This
Yeah,
is
'cause
everything.
you got 6.
This is actually, sometimes people can also, well, it's really not triple warmer, but your digestion, your elimination system. So it's the whole digestion and elimination system. Sometimes they have in acupuncture a meridian that's called triple warmer. And the triple warmer meridian is all the stuff in the middle there. All right? So maybe we'll get a little bit into that as we do it. But a lot of times that's called triple warmer, the elimination systems, the digestive systems. They're like almost kind of secondary. But what they're doing is they're looking at all of those organs. The whole bowl, the more that you stimulate blood flow, circulation, the more that those organs vibrate, the more that they heal, the more blood goes to them, the more that the fresh oxygen goes into the body, right, to stimulate those, then that makes everything else grow, and we're doing everything on a creation cycle. So if you were just doing it for general health, you do the 6 sounds right in a row. So if you do these 6 sounds, say daily, every day, and you did 10 or 15 sets of this, right, it should start to raise your immune system. It should start to raise your general health, right? So you're going to add the thymus tap to that. It's going to raise your general health. Because the thymus tap specifically for your T cells, right? Your T cells help you fight, right?
all kinds of things.
Right. So that's what you're looking to actually stimulate when you're doing T cells. Right?
Which I think does kind of as you get older, kind of gets
Well,
lazy.
All of these things get lazy as we get older, including us.
There's a theory about things supposed to be happening, and this is how somebody explained to me once, like, in America, you know, we think aging is bad, but there's reasons. And they use an example of testosterone in males. When men are young, and they have all this testosterone, they're all nuts and they're all crazy. Now, figure a 70-year-old man, too much testosterone. You don't want that.
We want that though. You may not want that as a woman,
You don't want him
but
scoring
as a man,
fives.
we don't want. I'm trying to score that stuff tonight. Are you kidding me?
Bottle of gold.
You bring that in, share. You get free classes. Right, but yes, it's supposed to, because again, there's certain things that are not supposed to happen, or happen as frequently. Right, so those are changes in our lives that are supposed to meant to do that. The goal, a lot of what the Chinese were still doing, it wasn't to make to production more of certain things, but what they were trying to do is to lessen the decay, to make the decay slower. So what would naturally be falling off, it could fall off like this, or it could kind of fall off nice and slow. And if you keep all these things in balance, then once we're in balance, yin and yang, and you keep all that stuff balanced, then then we're good to go. All right, good job. That's a wrap.
You gonna give some print out of that when you get in?
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be
the
great.
words, too.
Is that